In the beginning, you meet Laine and Debbie, her best friend, and they've been best friends since childhood. And Debbie reveals something that's happening to her. She reveals that she's been seeing things around the house, she's been hearing noise, and it's really freaking her out. We feel like we really need to get in touch with Debbie to see what's going on. Daren's character, Trevor, really believes that Pete is the one that's pushing the board around and making his own answers up. So this is really just to get behind what happened to Debbie. I was always told not to mess with a Ouija board. People told me horror stories about contacting a spirit from Russia, and it's really just bizarre tales, and just a lot of people. And my mum does like tarot cards and stuff. So she's like, never mess with it, Olivia. Never mess with them. It's very high stakes in the film and off the film because we need to finish it in this certain amount of time. But also it just makes everyone more meticulous about everything. Everyone needs to be so on point all the time. There's no room for messing about. It's so accessible to kids. Everyone wants to do a seance, everyone wants to contact something, everyone wants to kind of tap into something that seems so abstract and so not real.
I'm very scared to go anywhere near that thing, but I've heard several stories from several people that they've had bad experiences, and I think that's why I tend to keep it in, the acting world. Trevor is Laine's boyfriend. I think he's more interested in getting her affection than screwing around with the Ouija board, but she kind of, entangles Trevor into helping her out and figuring out what's going on. So Trevor, he's a non-believer. He doesn't believe in any of this. He's kind of like, he looks at her like she's crazy. And then as the story progresses, he finds himself in the midst of it himself. He's very soothing. That's the only word I can really think of. He's just like, he's always going to be there for you. You know that if you want another take, he's going to give it to you. He was really good at talking you through where your mind should be and where you're going to be. So it was just a good experience.
Laine and her best friend Debbie had played the Ouija board together as kids, and because it's something that Debbie mentions in the beginning of the movie as something that she's done again recently and has had a weird experience with it, that's really what draws Laine to the board to try to make contact with her friend again. The cast was really great on this movie, and I was very lucky as a first-time director to have a group of actors that really got what this movie was and what we were trying to do with it. And this idea of a group of friends trying to reach out to a recently lost friend, they really identified with and understood that was the core emotion of this story, that it was going to be scary, it was going to be fun, it was going to be a thrill ride in a lot of places, but that they understood that friendship layer was the foundation of this story.
Writer-directors are terrific to work with because they can change things on the fly. So if they see a set that's particularly a part of a set that they hadn't imagined, they can kind of craft story and writing around it. Or even an actor too. Sometimes an actor, the character will feel different than what's written. So I really like working with most of the people that we work with are writer-directors. I've had a lot of success with writer-directors, and I had a great experience working with Stiles. He was very professional, and the fact that he'd spent a lot of time in Hollywood writing made him up to the challenge of directing his first movie. The setup of the movie is Laine and Debbie are best friends from a very young age, and we see them as children playing together, and they've just been attached at the hip all their life. And once they get to high school, Debbie dies suddenly and tragically at the beginning of the movie. And Laine can't accept it. She can't accept it emotionally, and she logically can't accept it. She feels like something mysterious or something not right happened. And so she starts looking into how Debbie died and why she died beyond what the police would do. And she has an idea to use a Ouija board as part of her investigation into how Debbie died.